We started with 13 teams. Now we're down to the top 3 teams: Pacific Pink, Foxy Gaming, and Brand New Sports. Right now, it's going to be the lower bracket finals between Pacific Pink and Foxy Gaming. We've done it throughout the entire time. My name is Holler. This is I'm with Arthur here, and we've seen all of these teams play. But what do you think? What are your thoughts on these two teams now?
Well, I would say Foxy Gaming, Pacific Pink, this is the legendary rematch. Last time around when they meet, Foxy managed to beat them at 60-minute games, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
so
a long game, yeah.
Yeah, this time around, I think Pacific Pink, they're looking pretty good today. Foxy haven't played any. Pacific Pink just played a pretty dominant game and very well drafted, well executed as well. So I'm always a man that goes with momentum. So I'll like the momentum for Pacific Pink here. I think that first game we will be able to give them quite a good confident boost. And while Foxy Gaming, they did get to watch all the way how Pacific Pink drafted and played though. So that perhaps could give them some heads up as well onto how to counter what's happening or what's coming from Pacific Pink.
Craziest thing is that Pacific Pink is actually they lost to Foxy Gaming. Foxy Gaming had their number. I mean, that was a crazy game, and I'm pretty sure Pacific Pink here want the revenge, and they've got it. They have that second opportunity to face this team here, and well, let's hop into the draft now and see what we kind of like and what we don't like with this Undying Lion Medusa lineup already for Foxy Gaming.
All right, I see Medusa. I like Medusa.
Is it the snakes? Is that what? So when you're looking at a girl, it's the snakes on the head, or
what? I don't like to be turned to a stone, but I'm a big believer and fan of Medusa this patch. Even though she's not on Dire side, she's on Radiant, but still that strong. We have seen this before yesterday game from Brand New Sports. So they had this unstoppable Medusa from Gil, and that just completely take over the game. And this time around, it feels like Medusa could have the same kind of potential with the help from Undying and Lion. And of course, Undying, a very good hero to zone the Centaur out from the lane. So it's about how Foxy Gaming pick the heroes that take all the boxes from Medusa so that Medusa can just play her own game and not be pressured too hard in the early game to help her teammates.
And they're gonna go right away with the PL. They're like, this is our counter. We're gonna just diffusal, take away all of your mana and everything. But is this are you okay with this? Is this like Ana level PL?
Yeah, if you look at the ban list on Foxy side, they ban out 3 heroes: Faceless Void, Spectral, Anti-Mage. In some sense, these are all pretty good heroes against Medusa. They left the PL out, so Pacific Pink, they feel like they don't have any more choices left, so they go for PL here. It's also very good in taking down the Undying Tombstone as well. So I can definitely see why they want to pick PL here so early. But that being said, Foxy Gaming, they will have 2 picks in a row to not only protect the Medusa, but also counter the PL. Will they go for LC? No, they go for the Sand King. Alright, that's pretty good. Caustic Finale, Stun, Sandstorm, Epicenter. These are all AoE spells that can be pretty okay against PL, but it's not the kind of hero that can really provide any kind of protection to the Medusa though.
Yeah, it doesn't, and it's more of just like a counter dealing with PL, right? I think in terms of like the lane and just the team fight, eventually will, it has a way of dealing with all the illusions that you have. So it kind of ticks all those boxes. And at the end of the day, you're trying to protect the Medusa. So if he gets jumped on, you have some opportunity to kind of counter initiate. You kind of deal with that. But I still feel like Foxy Gaming's lineup is they do need like that one last hero to just kind of help protect the Medusa. What kind of sticks out to you?
Honestly, if you ask me, I think Mars is pretty good here from Foxy, but it really depends on if you can play Mars on the mid lane, or if they can pick Slanking on the mid lane. Another heroes I was thinking before the Slanking was LC. Like Legion Commander not only can deal with the PL on lane pretty well, the press of attack plus the shard with the 1.75 BKB, that is pretty damn good for Medusa as well. So I would say that's a hero that can not only deal with PL, but also protect the Medusa. I think Foxy Gaming, they were choosing between the two, and then it comes down to a comfort pick. Maybe perhaps they are more comfortable on the Sand King.
Actually, all of the heroes that you selected, I mean, if they can be played mid, I think that there's a lot of potential for them, and I think that'd be actually great for them because the Mars, the arena, like where are you going to stampede to? What are you going to do? Like how are you going to do that, right? But I think it's just like a better counter to just kind of dealing with the PL for going with the Sand King. So I think that's kind of why they went with that synergy here. But if we're looking at some of the bans, I mean, the Leshrac and the Storm, they don't think that there's a decent mid, and both of those are kind of good ways of dealing with the PL. So I really like the bans from Pacific Pink.
Yeah, that's true. The Storm, Rubik and Sapphire, they are not anywhere close to be a good hero to shut down the Storm. So I definitely like the ban. Lashrac is just a classic protect ban for the PL. For Foxy Gaming, they'll need someone that can just stand front, or maybe they could also use Medusa as a frontliner, so that they have this Sand King Lion flanking from behind to be the initiator for this team to get PL. Pacific Pink, they don't have the last pick here, so they'll have to show their mid player, their mid hero before Foxy Gaming. I think, if anything, Foxy Gaming will be countering this mid hero coming up from Pacific.
So you kind of want something that's kind of stable, right? It's not going to get, you're looking to go 50-50. Obviously, not getting that last pick is pretty important here, but what would you pick for your mid if you were Pacific Pink?
Well, I would say a hero that, like you say, it has to be 50-50. It has to be a hero that is solid, not going to lose lane, will be able to make some rotations when hit level 6 timing. I'll say heroes like... Okay, well, definitely one of the cats, or maybe Lina Kunkka, this sort of heroes. They go with Ember Spirit. Pretty good against Undying, Sand King, Lion, as long as she don't get burst. I can see Ember Spirit having a pretty good game here. Alongside the PL, just constantly giving PL the steering chain disable, so the PL can start killing people. But Foxy Gaming, now they have the last pick here to counter this Ember. There's a lot of heroes they can go for if they really want to just emphasizing on shutting down the Ember. There's Viper, there's Razor. Let's see what else do they have here. There's also SF that could be pretty okay for Foxy Gaming if he goes for the magic build. I think that's one way to shutting down the Ember Spirit or the PL.
Yeah. Like SF would just dominate that lane, right? I think that SF would be pretty good in terms of just like kind of getting yourself snowbally. I do like that one. I think that one has some potential, but I think that, mind you, this is a best of one double elimination. They've already lost one game apiece, so there's really no room for any sort of maneuvering or experimenting at this point. I think you need to go with what you're comfortable with. Make sure that you have the best heroes that you're at least comfortable playing, so that you give yourself the best opportunity to win. So for me, it's more of like, yeah, this hero might not be the best one, but it's just the most comfortable.
Yeah, that's the Dragon Knight also. Like, knowing what you say, or you don't, if they don't want to be taking too much risk, Dragon Knight would be a pretty solid pick here. Good against PL, good against Ember Spirit. Oh, they go for LC! Wow!
I love it. And you talked about it. You pretty much called this one, right? And I think it really makes a lot of sense.
I like this. I was thinking, would they just pick this Sand King against Ember Spirit because it's a pretty good matchup for Sand King? So they did go for the LC, which is, like we said, a very good counter against the PL on lane, on overall in the game. And not only that, the save for Medusa is very, very crucial here for Foxy Gaming. And they absolutely need one save. I love this coming out from Foxy. If they can put this out, I think this could be the gotcha pick for themselves that could allow Medusa to become a beast.
What a great pick. I think that really rounds out their draft. Plus, it's got more lockdown for the Ember, which you kind of need to control. Yeah, you have the Lion and the Sand King, but it just more control is always better, right? Especially somebody against somebody as elusive as that Ember Spirit.
Absolutely. Now they have Sand King, Legion Commander, Lion. Like, all three sort of disable and counter initiation plus the initiation. It's so hard for Pacific Pink to play around this. So much flexibility in Foxy Gaming's draft, because you never know who's going to come in first. You never know how can you really initiate on this Medusa without worrying the epicenter jumping in by Sand King, the PTA save coming from LC, and of course like Impale from Lion too. So I think Foxy Gaming, they really tick all the boxes for Medusa. You have sustain coming from Undying as well, and they like to play around the ball. You want to playing around the Medusa, Stone Gaze, and also the Tombstone. And Lion, Sand King, LC, they give you the disables to shut those guys down around Medusa, just for her to deal damage. So I love this coming up from Foxy.
Yeah, just very nicely played. I think it's a nice draft, but okay, here's the difference between this game and the last game in the sense that like you had NM that was on the axe that just kind of carried the game, right? Now this time she's on the centaur, and that hero really like you can't really hardcore carry like you did with an axe, right? So this is going to put more pressure on somebody else to pick it back up. In this case, it's going to be Kikari. She really needs to have a good lane. She needs to dominate, make sure that she's, having a better game than she did, because at the end of the day, I felt like NM and, Sherry pretty much just carried them into victory. So she needs to step up.
Yeah, this is definitely a game that PL has to step up because PL is the only Medusa killer here. And then if you look at the other heroes from Pacific Pink, aside from Snapfire's Little Shadow, they don't really have a reliable way to bring down the Undying Tombstone as well. So that basically means that PL not only has to kill Tombstone, has to survive in the fight, and also, meanwhile, trying her best to bring down the Medusa. So there's a lot of jobs that this PL has to do in this game. That's why I feel like this is going to be such a hard PL game to perform, because if you look at Foxy's draft, they have so many AoE damage that can bring this PL down easily.
Yeah. It's going to start with laning, right? She's going to need items. She needs to get that power spike to keep her in the game, because, if not, we're going to have a hard time in the sense that, like, she's got to do too many things, got to, the tombstone, like all the things, like everybody, right? Like, who do you focus on? How do you deal with this Medusa at the end of the day who can just stone gaze you?
Yeah, I think Pacific Pink might need to approach this in the macro strategy wise. Like, for example, they could just bait out the tombstone and then stampede to get out of the tombstone and then re-engage again. Or maybe they could also use the stampede to disengage from the Medusa stone gaze and then re-engage again. There's a lot of ways they can do things with this stampede. But I think using it defensively might be better here for Pacific Pink, because imagine if they just charge in offensively with Stampede and then you just get initiated on this by this Sand King and Medusa ulti. That would mean that they have no way out anymore if they use the Stampede offensively. So that's something NM has to keep in her mind.
I always feel like Centaur, you should be using your Stampede probably 70-80% more defensively than offensively, in my opinion. I just feel like every time you go in, like the enemy will counter and they'll be in, and then you're kind of like, oh, now I can't get away. Like, we're kind of screwed. So I feel like it's a better defensive item or defensive skill than an offensive one, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I would think so too. It's a lot similar to the Dark Rift from Underlord. To reset things, to give you the window of advantage where the enemy's biggest spells are down, and then re-engage instantly after that. So yeah, I would say that, but I feel like 70-80% of the time, Centaur players would use that offensively though.
Well, there's all my teammates. All right, nonetheless, Ningend, Sand King versus the Ember. You don't see this matchup all the time, but what do you think about this one in Midnight?
I'll say this would be a trade farm from both sides, but I'll definitely favor Sand King in terms of the ability to harass Ember.
Oh, Cat Chaser taking a ton of damage with Kikari as well, but they've got the salve, and Naomi getting a little bit low. They do need to be careful here, but man, it's very explosive in the top lane.
I'll say there's a lot more killing potential for Legion plus Lion compared to the Sapphire and PL, because there's just so many AoE damage. Oh, Naomi?
They do get first blood. Cat Chaser will take first blood on that one. It's just a little out of position.
She didn't even need to use the overwhelming odds. Like, that's really how much LC really do, the damage really do. And especially when LC gets to the level 2 with the moment of courage, that's when she can really put some harassment onto the PL.
Yeah, and you're going to do a ton of damage that way. But okay, NM is going to eat that snake there. KJ and Honey Lisa just kind of trading here.
So painful. I swear the snake looks so painful because the decay on the Centaur.
Oh, PL solo. Oh, sorry, PL solo. Okay, she's fine now, but she backed up. Whew. All right, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean this bottom lane, normally you'll see Centaur having a pretty good lane against Medusa, because she can Centaur can easily just deny creeps in front of Medusa, but thanks to this Undying, like Centaur could not be doing what she would want to be normally doing. And top lane, once again, if we talk about this last game, Naomi, she likes to go for this offensive build with the Blightstone, a lot of regens for herself, but no tangles or salve early on for her carry. It's the same thing in this game again. Just Kakuri, she's gonna be forced to play with a very low HP because of the lack of salves coming out from Naomi.
So is this yeah, like I totally understand why the support needs to be, you know, feeding, you know, regen and all that, and sacrificing for Kikari to kind of just have a better lane. But I mean, we've seen this time and time again, at least with Pacific Pink, that they don't seem to have that strategy in mind. They think that, like, hey, we're both on an island in the sense that, like, yeah, we're in the same lane, but I don't need to give you all of that regen. Maybe it's more of like a team strategy thing.
Yeah, I'll say another thing is also understanding of how to play the safe lane is another thing. That's why you see sometimes in this patch we see a lot of Warlock, Abaddon, heroes like even Oracle, you know, any heroes that comes in with a spell that can heal, so that it replaces the need to buy salve so much.
Right. Oh, Kikari and Cat Chaser, they're looking to fight this. Overwhelming odds doing a decent amount of work. The Snapfire Cookie, but they're going to look to commit for this one. Sakari does go down. Kikari, the S is throwing me off, and Cat Chaser will run away and get that kill, and she'll salve up and go back in lane, and this is looking really rough for Kikari.
Naomi might still be dead. Oh, Sleepless did not want to go for her. And that's why I think a stun into a couple of right clicks plus the Momo, plus the overwhelming odds could actually finish her off. But you can really see how strong the LC really is on this top lane. Level 3 already on 2 points of overwhelming odds. That does so much damage on the PL.
There's really not much Kikari can do against that. I mean, the overwhelming odds just does so much work. Like, Kikari is really struggling here to get any sort of last hits. And if you're looking at the cores, last hits alone, she's 10-2. She's on the bottom.
Yeah, and also besides that, Centaur just died to Nana at the bottom side. And Nana has already gotten herself 2 Wraith Bands, so a lot of stats to play with, a lot of basic damage to kick Centaur out of the lane as well with the help of DK. I'm liking this laning setup coming up from Foxy.
The Earth Spike on point. They do end up killing Naomi. Sleepless goes down as well, and Kikari will actually take that one. I mean, yes, it's a trade, but Kikari needs anything to get back in this game.
No, that's pretty okay. If she can get a kill in return for the death of the post 5, I think that's completely okay. That's right. telling Naomi that's what you get for not buying salve from me.
I'm not actually gonna help you. Is that what it is? Oh, you're dead. Yeah, yeah, good.
Yeah,
good.
So
I will.
If you could trade a kill from me, that's okay. Because if you look at PL's last hit, she's hitting 11, okay, 12 compared to the 26 from LC.
Yeah, just completely dominating that lane there. Mind you, okay, Foxy Gaming, in the last time these two teams met, I think they had a huge, like an amazing start, right? And Pacific Pink had to fight to the end. They were fighting against Megas. They had their chance to come back in the game. But, you know, they're prepared for the long term. Yeah, you might not have the greatest laning or whatever, and Pacific Pink are kind of preparing themselves for that because they're not having a great start. But it's only 4-1, and it's less than a 1K net worth lead, so they're gonna do what they can.
Yeah, they can try. Naomi, she can try to save her life. Like, it's gonna be so hard. Just look at LC. There's no way anyone of Pacific Pink on this top lane could man fight the LC at this moment. With the chainmail plus brazier and the magic wand, they're so strong together.
Just so much work. She's got the full, like, 7 points in wand. She's even got our brown boots. Oh, Kikari is looking to run away here. Cat Chaser, okay, actually is gonna. Okay. Every time I see Cat Chaser chase someone, I'm like, oh, she's chasing a cat, like her name.
That's true. Oh, bottom side, the Centaur has already started to cut creep. She knows that there's no way she could just lane up against this Medusa with the help of Undying.
But Honey Lisa is there, and she's about half life here. The Mystic Snake doing some work to stop, but I don't know if that's enough. She's taking so much damage, and Honey Lisa will take that kill, though.
Oh, Pacific Pink, they are crumbling in every single lane. Oh, look at Sand King!
Oh, charging it up the epicenter, the doppelgang, at least away into the burrow strike. That seemed a little early. She goes down. Cat Chaser will secure that one with an overwhelming odds. Sherry's now here. The TP is coming, but she's been hexed. She wants to run at them. She's got Flame Guard, the Snapfire Cookie, actually just a little bit in terms of mobility, but that's it. No stun. Nice burrow strike onto Sherry. The Earth Spike is going to miss on that one, and Sherry TPs, gets nothing in return.
She has no point on the string chain. That's why you see like Ember Spirit, they don't really want to be rotating around if they max up the Flame Guard, and there's no reliable stuns from her teammates as well. So that's a very awful TP coming out from Ember Spirit. Not that the TP is bad, but the outcome was really bad. And now they're back to the mid lane, and Sand King will just keep pushing out the mid lane, and there's just nothing much Ember Spirit could do without a power rune.
Not much here. Nigand here just kind of consistently farming and is looking to contest this here. Burrow Strike will take most of those last hits, I believe. But they're both level 7, and it looks like if we're talking about net worth, actually, Sherry's up 3,600 versus the 3,300 of
Yeah,
Sanity.
she's 61 last hit, so she's feeling pretty good in terms of farming. But helping her teammate wise, not so good because her 2 lanes are crumbling a lot right now. She managed to pick up about regen rune, not the best rune that she would be hoping for. She's definitely hoping for haste, DD.
The zombies are slowing him down. NM goes down again. This is night and day from the last game to this game in terms of her performance. Well, I mean, it kind of sucks to be going up against an undying Medusa lane, though.
Absolutely. Yeah. 16% is so like,
Oh, taunt. They found Naomi. And winner, chicken dinner. Cat Chaser will easily take that dual damage.
both of the silings are crumbling so hard for Pacific Ping right now. It's really hard for them to come back from this, knowing that not only they now have to buy time for themselves to recover, they also have to be worrying about this unstoppable Medusa that has gotten 2 kills already and has a bunch of free farm with two Wraith Band as well. Normally you see Medusa, you don't see them going for Wraith Band because they're just so greedy. But because of how good of a start she's getting, that actually would be so good for her.
She has 2 Wraith Bands. I mean, she's got treads already. I think she's doing a pretty decent job of farming here. I mean, compared to the PL, who's last hit wise kind of similar, but look at those 21 denies by the Medusa here, and that's a pretty big difference, at least in the lane.
Oh, Sherry once again TP the bottom side. She might not be able to get anything from this, and she does not have a random to get back to the mid lane. So she's stuck here. She said, okay, I got nothing. And that's a bit of awkwardness there from Sherry.
She's gonna farm here, so she's gonna get something. But she's got Javelin. She's gonna be going for Maelstrom next. Are you okay with that build order?
Yeah, I guess I'm fine. It really gives her the ability to skill. I think yesterday games we saw Ember Spirit going for really early late meal in the BKB, and that kind of Ember would not skill if they don't get any successful fight over and over again. So I definitely like this build a lot more. There's a lot of potential to go late game as well with the early Maelstrom.
And you got to get yourself. You just got to provide a lot of space. I think Sherry being like 10 minutes in, she's top. Oh, she's second place now. To Cat Chaser's LC, who had a pretty like one of the best 10-minute starts that you could have on the LC.
Yeah, that's the last pick or char pick there from LC, really having the effect here. I think throughout this tournament, the teams have been using their last pick pretty well. And we saw the Huskar last pick yesterday and the LC last pick today as well. It's just pretty amazing on how the teams are understanding the power of last pick and using them to the maximum.
This is it. Like, it's so powerful to have that last pick and just kind of get the, like as you call it, the gotcha pick. I just think it's just, teams need to utilize it more. If you're not, then I think you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, definitely. Because the only advantage you have in the second phase sequence, hold up, Cat Chaser,
the Shredder, the Remnant as well, and they do have the Snapfire Cookie. Mortimer Kisses. This should do a decent amount of work. She's trying to just create space, and she's been running into the trees, and she does go down, and that's a pretty big kill streak going the way of Sherry.
Yeah, that's a line that Cat Chaser could not cross. Oh, bottom side, they're using the Stampede defensively.
Oh, Honey Lisa is hideous in the Golem mode, but NM should be able to TP away, and Honey Lisa can do nothing but sprout more flowers on her head.
So far, so good for Foxy Gaming overall, but it's pretty amazing how Ember Spirit has been keeping herself on top of the net worth chart, and she's now completed the Maelstrom. She'll be able to do a lot more magical damage and also have the ability to farm, so she does not feel very pressured to keep fighting now that she has the ability to farm, the ability to skill as well.
All right, 12 minutes takes the haste rune, and Honey Lisa will just run away. Oh, Earth Spike. They're gonna look to go. They got the steal though, and that's gonna be a pretty big steal. Snapfire Cookie just to safety, and Sherry will just take that stack right there.
Oh, that's such a big stack. They're not giving to the PL, huh? Okay. I thought they'll give the PL knowing how behind PL is. And PL basically has nothing but a blade of alacrity and a power threats. So PL would need a lot more time to come online. And Ember Spirit, hopefully with this huge huge chunk of gold injection, she might be able to start leading the team to make some.
That was awkward. Sleepless actually had smoke there. And if we're looking at the bottom lane,
Oh no.
bottom with the PL running for her life, and they do get to the duel, and they found it. Oh, the duel was on the illusion, though. And they actually smoked up, and they were just gonna go fight, but Sleepless didn't even realize that her smoke had popped, and she was just standing still right next to the PL. Roaming on Stampede, and the chains will just kind of stop that. But it's a defensive Stampede. You might as well. You don't have Kikari, you can't really fight.
I mean, Medusa is still pretty happy. Surprisingly, Medusa, even with a very monstrous start, I would say, she's not actually leading all the way in terms of net worth. She's pretty behind. I'm wondering maybe if is this the after effect for going for the Wraith Band early on? Because I do think that's what kind of slowed down the Yasha timing. And normally you want to go for the Culling Blade just for the extra like 10 to 20 damage. So I feel like the double Wraith might be the issue for her to make her not on the top of network for now.
Okay. I mean, it's weird because, like, at the end of the day, yeah, it's like, you know, the Wraith Bands aren't that expensive, so it's like, but it doesn't really scale up into anything, but it gives you stats. Hopefully it can get you more kills. Maybe it helps with the lane a little bit more, but I do agree in the sense that she is a little bit behind. It's 14 minutes and she's only got that.
Oh, the smoke from Pacific Ping.
The Remnants, they have the chains. The Tombstone's going to be committed by Honey Lisa. She turns into
everything.
Flex Golem mode, and this is a pretty big one. She's going to heal herself for now. The Snapfire Cookie, and she's by herself waiting for reinforcements. More kisses are going to be committed. Nana was here, but it looks like that's going to end most of that because nobody wants to walk in those more kisses.
Oh, another smoke coming out from the two supports. KJ and Naomi, they're smoked, but they're not going anywhere to set off for a kill, though. That could be just like a misclick from Pacific Ping, because they smoke instantly after killing the Undying. Now they don't have multi-rare kisses.
Yeah, but they're waiting for Sherry to come back, refill the bottle, heal back up. But yeah, they're still smoked here, and they need to be careful. Cat Chaser's gonna find them. The Earth Spike that was stolen is a little off the mark, and this is why KJ plays Rubik and not Lion, because you can't hit your Earth Spikes, right? Shots fired.
Shots fired. All in all, I would say if Foxy Gaming managed to keep defending their top tier 1 tower and mid tier 1 tower, that would be pretty good. That's the best news for Medusa, so that she can always just sit in the triangle and does what she's doing right now, which is just to be as efficient as she could.
We're looking in the mid lane. Cat Chaser's TP'd in. Okay. Glyph is now going to be used. They're going to look to push this. I think that they need to kind of take a, you know, well, actually, it's weird because they're up 9-3, but they're actually down in terms of net worth. But they found the Snapfire here. They get a nice little Blink, Burrow Strike, Tombstone committed. Duel is going to be on point. Hickory is looking to fight this, but the Mystic Snake and the Epicenter are just doing some work. NM is here. Nice little stun. Fayebolt's going to kill NM there. Or Niggin on that one. Sleepless goes down as well. But the Stone Gaze is going to lock down Sherry, and it's going to be 2 for 1 with a buyback from the Snap.
That's a dangerous jump there on the Snapfire. They sinking Blink into the tower range. They try to get the Snapfire there, but they're not using Fingers of Death for the quick kill and then disengage. They stay for a while. Even Cat Chaser actually went in with the duel. She wanted the dual damage, so Sanking stayed a little bit too long and died there. That's definitely not a good trade for themselves.
Not a good trade at all. And I mean, they didn't really get anything out of that. I mean, they lost more people. Buyback is not the biggest deal, especially when Naomi just being able to come back like that. But if anything, you know, I think that you needed to. Oh, looks like there's going to be another commitment going in the mid lane. They found KJ all by herself, a little too far up. And Honey Lisa with a Flesh Golem is just going to de-ward under the Mortimer Kisses. Sherry's now back in. Kikari's going to look to fight this one. Honey Lisa goes down. Cat Chaser's looking to fight, but she's so low. The Hex in. Nice Snapfire Cookie. Oh no, what an Earth Spike there. That's going to be stolen, and that's going to be taken in. And they're going to look to go for this. And Sherry's going deep for this. NM is now here. The Blink stun, and they're going to look to fight this. And Nana's just trying to fight them, but it's an ultra kill going the way of Sherry. Sherry really is chasing after Nana. The slights, but nothing else. No mana on either side, but it's 4 for 1. Not a bad deal for
Not at all. That's the Blink review from NMSL. Even though they did not manage to get the DOTA, they secured an ultra kill for Ember Spirit. I think DOTA could have done a lot more damage there. Unfortunately, she did not reset herself from the previous fight just now. So she went into the fight without any mana. She did not even throw a single Mystic Flare, Mystic Snake, because she just didn't have enough mana at all to start the fight with. So that's a little bit of unfortunate there from Foxy Gaming. They might want to take this thing a little bit slow, let DOTA at least recover a bit of mana for herself before going for the next fight.
She was doing damage. I mean, the split shot was doing damage to everybody, but nobody was dying. She doesn't really have the damage, and she wasn't able to cast not only the Mystic Snake, but she still had Stone Gaze. I mean, it's off cooldown. That is, she just didn't have the mana to cast it. So again, just like a really bad engagement that they should have just probably just ran from the start.
And right now, Foxy Gaming, this is a pause that is very important for them. Is for them to communicate again and draw and back to the drawing board. How do they want to plan this game plan out? Because they definitely have the decision making power on their hand. They have DOTA themselves. They have really good answers for the PL2. It's all about executing and how do they execute as well, and also the timing they want to go for. If they want to get someone, if they want to get a quick kill to bridge to this mid tier 1, they have to go there with fingers of death, finish that guy off quickly, get a quick kill, and then start pressuring the tower. They could not go for this very slow kind of siege because the tower defense power from Pacific Pink are as strong as themselves.
Yeah, and Medusa's like that slow sustaining, and it works really well with like the Undying, where you will want these like really long drawn out fights. But then you have like the Lion and the Sand King who are looking to just burst and kind of just end things as quickly as possible. So they need to be a little bit more focused. I think their target prioritization has been a little bit off in terms of how they should be focusing and what they need to do. But I mean, give props to Pacific Pink in the sense that, hey, the first 10 minutes did not look good for them. But look at the score now. It's 12-9. Bit of a coin flip there. And then, but they're up in terms of net worth. So they're really back in this game.
Yeah, I would say Ember Spirit is really the one that put things back to their hands, because Ember Spirit was the one that is having a pretty good lane. She's also the only one that go 50-50 at the laning phase as well, and she didn't force things too hard. She farmed for the Maelstrom, come into this fight with a triple kill, all thanks to the damage output from this Maelstrom. So that's really the snowballing effect from the early good decision making coming out from Ember Spirit, especially specifically Sherry.
Yeah. And if we looked at the last game, NM carried them on that one. They're like, okay, this is my time to do it. And Sherry just picks up the slack, and she's 7-0-1, completely controlling the game. And anytime they fight, they need to be very wary of where Sherry's positioning is and make sure that they lock her down, because she's the one getting all the kills and her net worth is tops because of it.
Yeah, true. But with the BKB on Sherry though, she knows how important it is for her to stay in the team fight, to stay alive, because she's the one that's outputting so much continuous damage. So she go for the BKB. I love this a lot. Just going for the safest play, because knowing that this is the best of one, no mistakes are allowed. Yeah.
And as a core player, all core players that are watching, I hope you start to buy BKBs earlier, because it's just so important. And especially since like the Lion, the Sand King, all of these things are looking to control you. And if you've got BKB, obviously you're just immune to all this stuff. So you got to make sure you burst it out, make sure you get your kills and protect yourself, and let this PL get back in the game. And who just has nothing but a diffusal at this point.
Oh, that's a nether shot for Pacific Pink. I wonder who's gonna be picking that up. I'm surprised Sherry is not picking another shot, because that's basically an upgraded hood, or maybe you can say offensive hood, because it gives you magical amplification. It also gives you some magical resistance as well. He's gonna pick up the Imp Claw, knowing that he has to be in the fight to do damage, because this is not the time that PL is ready to be involved in fight. That's why he want to go for damage. And he also has a BKB to protect herself, so that's all good.
Okay. All right. And Elsie, who had a great lane in terms of, net worth, she was tops, but instead now she's dropped down to 3rd place, but she's got the Solar Crest, and is going to be going Blink Shards next. Is that the proper itemization?
Yeah, I guess nowadays the PL has 2 common builds. You go for the Blade Mail Blink Dagger, the more damage kind of PL, or you go for the defensive kind of PL that is more like a aura machine, or the one that sits behind your core to protect your core. In this case, since they have the super carry like Medusa, I'm definitely liking this route that catches a goal for herself.
Okay. All right, so Nana here just doing a little de-warding here. She does have S and Y. Okay, and Ags is up next. Ags, Shards, Scotty. That looks to be the build for Medusa. Is that the one you want to go?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's like the best build right now for Medusa. The next thing I'm worrying is the Sand King though. As you can see, Sand King gets a really early Blink Dagger, but her itemization kind of gets stagnant ever since the Blink Dagger because she's always trying to make things happen. She's not scaling, which is why you see sometimes Sand King, they rather go for the early boost of travel so that they can involve in the fight, they can also be scaling meanwhile. Without the boost of travel, Sand King feels really stagnant that she's so pressured to make fights happen.
Yeah, yeah. And there's really, I mean, yeah, if you can find some of the backline, you can maybe get a couple kill here and there. But your LC, who's going to kind of clean up, has to literally just phase boots in and hopefully get in there in time because she doesn't have blink.
Two-man smoke coming out from Foxy. They're bringing the Lion and Sand King. They're hoping to just quickly burst down Sherry. If Sherry goes for this wave, she might be in trouble.
Oh, Slight has been used. Oh, she remnants. She has that inner spider sense, and they realize it's, oh, I'm kind of out of position. I'm going to get out of here. And Sherry, super smart, back in the mid lane.
Yeah, she's so safe. She plays this show so safe. She was waiting for the last second of random, and then he show up to throw a slide of fist, instantly gets back to the random, not giving any chance for Foxy to jump on her. That's the kind of core plays that you want in your team. Just not taking any unnecessary risk, knowing how important it is for herself to stay alive. And to me, these kind of players are very rare to find. Oh, they smoke under the vision of Foxy though. That might be a problem.
It's okay, so they're gonna realize this, and they're gonna stick under the T1 mid. But they got to stick around. They better not walk up high ground because I'm gonna be like, okay, they got the lift up on Honey Lisa. That'll start it, but she's got Glimmer, so she backs up. Oh, but all of them, and she drops the tomb in her death. They've got the epicenter. Stone Gaze is going to be used. The Earth Spike is on point, and they found NM. She's been locked in. She's been looking in, and right into the duel. Nice little combination there. Do they actually have the damage? They do, and they end up killing him. And they finally kill the Tombstone, so they got something. But it's a 2-for-1, all at the cost of Undying. And Undying is just ugly, so that's okay, right?
Okay, I mean someone has to be the one tanking the spells for Foxy so that Sand King and LC could jump in like that. Undying is just the best hero here. As long as she throws the Tombstone down before she dies, she can retire herself from the fight.
Yeah, and actually the Tombstone did some work and slowed him down. Obviously with the Stone Gaze there, just kind of being able to build up some of that zombie apocalypse. Very, very easy for her and just kind of help their team just win that team fight here. But they're able to protect the T1 mid, which is, a little disconcerting for Foxy, considering you want a team fight and you didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah, I feel like this mid tower has been such a bait for both sides because they're trying so hard to take down this mid tower, and they're actually not farming as fast.
It looks like Pacific Pink have taken the T1 mid instead.
Yeah, now they instantly invade the bottom jungle, and PR has already been pushing the entire bottom wave in, so they might be able to get or pressure this tier 2 tower, knowing that Medusa has no TP since she has already TP to the top lane just now, and they saw the TP as well.
Oh, Sleepless being very, very... Oh, okay, the Earth Spike is going to miss. All right, if anything, that and the overwhelming odds will deal with the illusions and the creeps, so that at least they've, alleviated some of that tower pressure now. But it does look like Nana is making her way to the bottom lane, as you said, that she TP'd all the way top. So give her a little bit of time to slither on back.
I like that she's having a clarity and also 2 mangoes for herself, so that they don't run into the problem like 10 minutes ago, where Medusa has no mana to use any spells, even though that was a good fight. So Nana definitely learning from the lesson. And I like this Agonist pick up so early. It's a very good and reliable way to protect the Tombstone. Anyone that tries to hit the Tombstone all becomes stones. So this is the seamless synergy to Medusa and Phoenix, where you can just easily protect the egg. And this is the same way to protect the Tombstone as well.
Yeah. I mean, you pick the ugliest heroes in Dota, and then you can make a combination out of them, right? Like ugly plus ugly equals amazing, apparently, right?
Okay. So both of us, ugly and ugly, we are amazing. Cool. Yeah. We are amazing.
Wait. Did you just call me ugly?
I also call us amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, that I already knew. All right. So Nana continue to farm has. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. PL just got the S and Y diffusal shards next. That's going to be a pretty big power spike when she gets that.
That's a really early shard pickup from Medusa, because normally Medusa would get the shard after the Skadi. Because this is 1.4k gold, which is not a small amount at all. But knowing how Medusa, she probably thinks that, I will want to turn the PL into the stone when she throws me the Spirit Land. So maybe that's what she's thinking here. Because I would say, shard, the cold blooded is best when you are against hero that can hold you down, like the Shaman. So just imagine the Shaman shackling Medusa and instantly turn into the stone. So that stops the chain stun potential coming from enemy. But this time, if you look at the heroes from Pacific Pink, the chain stun they're throwing are Sing Chain, are the Hoop Storm. These are not really single target spells that you can reflect the Mystic Stick to. So not really sure about this shot pickup.
Yeah, especially earlier, like maybe you went a little greedier and just went for the Skadi first, probably just to kind of help out, because I think that you would have more of an impact there. But I mean, nonetheless, they're still doing well in terms of farming. So Nana, top of net worth, she clearly knows what she's doing.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
The tempo has slowed down quite a bit though from Foxy Gaming side, because they are playing way too defensive right now. They were not able to bring down this mid-tier 1 tower, so they have no ways to threaten the Roshan. They don't have ways to invade the enemy jungle as well. So it's 26 minutes now. They have the 6 creep. If this is not go time, I don't know when is the go time. They might want to be committing for this tower push, and you see Nana, she wants to do it.
She's focusing it, she's taking it. The Siege Catapult is also there just to help her out, and they do get it. Okay, the Blink Burrow Strike. They've got Naomi, the lift up there. And they're going to use Dusk to kind of get it, the Earth Spike. Now Flesh Golem is going to be used, Tombstone as well. And they've got the Epicenter doing some work, but Stampede is going to be used, and they're going to use that defensively. Get on out of there. What do you do when zombies chase after you? You just run.
Yeah, that's the power of the disengaging we are talking about. They use everything, Stone Gaze, Tombstone, Epicenter as well. And Pacific Pink, Stampede just ran away. And now they might be able to find a chance to re-engage again.
Yeah, and they'll take the Tombstone. I don't know if they got the actual money from that, but now it looks like they're going to group up here, and Pacific Pink are going to make a play on their own. But this is so close. 27 minutes, 14-10, like, you know, 1K less than 1K net worth difference. Like, this is as close of a game as we've seen today.
That's true. That was a very terrible, not to mention that's a very terrible early phase from Pacific.
Link, they found Cat Chaser. Nice 3-man Earth Spike, though. They're going to look to fight this one. Cat Chaser's still alive. She's got her BKB off, and she's going to back off here. The Tombstone used again, and Pacific Pink are like, okay, we can't do anything now. We're going to run on out of here. NM gets on her spider legs. She gets literally just creeps on out of there. But again, I make this joke every single time, but again, it was like a Marvel movie where everybody fights, nobody really dying.
Yeah, the double save relationship coming from Nana and Cat Chaser is just amazing. Like, whoever get touched on, they will be saved by each other. The PTA is gonna be there, the Mystic Stick turning everybody into stone, really allowing Cat Chaser to use the PTA on herself and just magic one up and get out of trouble. So that's why we've seen Legion Commander plus Medusa being such a popular duo right now ever since TNC put that out.
It's such a good combination. And to be honest, like, I don't even know how Pacific Pink need to engage this. They need to find somebody, catch them off guard, you know, get that early pick off. Maybe you look to take a fight 5v4 and then you got a chance. But 5v5, it's very difficult to fight into this Death Ball lineup.
Yeah, I feel like this is another like TI4 meta where you just, ooh, Sleepless?
Oh, how did MM know? Sleepless? She thought she was fine. Everybody walked around. Everyone was like, oh yeah, be cool, like pretend like she's not there. And then the blink in forward, she was like, oh crap, they found me.
Yeah, she was like hiding in the trees all the time. She did not have vision. And then finally when she decided to step out of its comfort zone, she get punished. So the thing is, should we step out of our comfort zone? Okay, hold on.
Gonna focus on this T2, but the TPs are coming. The Epicenter's been channeled, and they got the Burrow Strike. They found NM. That's gonna start this one off. NM goes down, and just like that, Centaur. You think that he's kind of tanky, but not really against Nana here. And it looks like they're gonna doppelgang, try to get away, and just lost NM at that.
It's so She's so out of position though. She's like trying to find if anyone is hiding in the trees. But when she went for that, Sand King has already been channeling the epicenter. And she just get punished like that. I think positioning, they have to be really careful. Even though the tower is really low, they were kind of hoping that Foxy Gaming are not in position to defend that. But Foxy, they read that like a book. They were there once they were hit.
Okay, Kikari had the shard
Cherry?
queued up for. Oh, okay. They had sorry, Kikari had the shard queued up, but it's gonna go heart first. Is that the right choice?
Yeah, I think heart is definitely very important for Kekari here. I think shard is also as important because that's the offensive spell, offensive item for her. If she go for full defensive, I'm not sure if she's even capable of doing any damage to the Medusa. Because she's just purely tanky.
Yeah. But you stay alive and you let your illusions kind of work on the diffusal and stuff like that, right? Like you can kind of...
Yeah, but that's where minimal amount of illusions though, without the Aghanims.
True.
So it's a tough choice to make. It's a tough choice to make.
Radiant's top tower.
She's still
is
thinking
under
about it.
attack.
She has the money for the shard, but she's not purchasing it just yet.
Yeah, I think she's saving up for buyback. You know what I mean? At least you got something to kind of to make sure that you're kind of comfortable with. I mean, she's only about 500 gold away from buyback and the shard, so I think it's okay worth saving for.
It's just a very hard PL game to itemize and also play because she has to do so much and she has to protect herself by herself too. There's no heroes that can really protect her, maybe besides the Stampede. So that's why she's finding a lot. She's really struggling right now in terms of decision making, and you don't really feel the PL's presence so far
Radiant
just yet.
are scanning.
Yeah, she needs more time. I mean, if you're looking at like, you know, Nana on the other hand, she's got Scotty, SNY, Aghanims, and she's also got the Paladin sword to help out with the healing and whatnot. But she is almost like this ultimate raid end boss, right? Like very difficult to deal with. I don't even know how you're going to deal with this. And everybody else on her team is just going to support and just protect her.
Yeah. It's just the support that both carriers have are way too different. PL has only the Stampede or maybe the Cookie. They are not like really game changer, but Foxy, they have the PTA, they have this big Soul Rip coming up from Undying, not to mention the Epicenter counter-imitation as well. They could really stop everything. So I'll definitely say this is such an easy Medusa game to play. It's such a bad PL game. Such a difficult PL game, not a bad PL game. Difficult PL game. Especially once the butterfly is up. Ooh.
Yeah.
Does PL really want to go for a Monkey King bar? Not really.
Not really,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so that's really tough for PL.
Okay, all right. KJ here just doing a little bit of scouting, sticking around. Oh, the blink forward by Sleepless. They got the Hex. First spike, and Honey Lisa is now coming. KJ's got the Glimmer, though. They do have the Dust. Nigand is now here. Steal, but just the Sandstorm. Okay, into the duel. They're just queuing it up and making sure that they get the duel damage. And another winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, 70 damage now on Leech Commander. The more she builds up the damage, the more she can threaten the backline, and even maybe the Ember Spirit. So they really have to be careful in giving away these free duel wins to LC. Now, Roshan should be the priority for both sides. Pacific Ping, they don't have any ways to take Roshan themselves. They'll have to be reactionary here to try to defend the Roshan. Because they do have pretty good heroes. PL can always stay in the high ground to throw illusions down to scout things out. And Foxy, they do have some really good Roshan potential as well with the Solar Crest.
Honey Lisa all by herself getting caught out. Okay, she gets glimmered at least for now. She gets changed. She's so low. She gets a heal. But yeah, Roshan is definitely going to be next on the list. KJ's up in like 2 seconds. So I don't think you commit for Roshan here.
Yeah, I don't think so. Unless they could find a quick pick off on anyone on Pacific Ping that doesn't have buyback, then they have a very big window for themselves. Pacific Ping, they're all stick together though. They're smoked up. Let's look at their vision. They don't see anyone, so this is a blind smoke. They're running onto high ground, Holler.
Oh yeah, they're gonna look. This is so scary. Okay, they're lucky. Okay, now here's the reveal. There we go. They found Cat Chaser. They're gonna focus on that. Stampede is gonna be used, and it's gonna be used somewhat offensively. They're gonna focus on Honey Lisa, try to take her down. They've got the Glimmer and the Stone Gaze will stop that one. Monover Kisses is doing some work, and they're getting in. Ningen goes in for this one, but Kekari doing some work as well. Sherry's actually focusing on the Tombstone. They back off. They're gonna use the Naomi's gonna focus on the Tombstone. They do get that. KJ's down, and nobody had died from Foxy, as crazy as that sounded. Or was it? Sorry, there was a buyback.
Going for more.
Oh, they found Naomi as well. They've got the stun, the hex, and they've got the Pearl Strike, and it looks like Naomi will fall on this one. But Sherry does have DD. That's something to take note of. And they get a nice little two-man stun there. And it looks like Nana's going to look at focus and split arrow on all of them. They've got the Earth Spike onto NM. Looks like they're going to back off. Kikari's looking to just retreat here. And Ningen is actually sandstorming Roshan.
Legion Commander was holding the duel all the time, and she's very patient. She wants to wait for the Ember Spirit, because Ember Spirit with for BKB, the only way to get her down is really the duel. That's why Ember Spirit smartly picks up the Lincoln Sphere, so she's gonna be pretty immune to the initiation from Sand King or the Legion Commander. I would say Ember Spirit is actually doing more damage than PL in the fights right now with the Crystallis also. She's building into the Daedalus, so that's when she can really bring down the squishy supports from Foxy side, even if the Sand King could be very vulnerable.
All right, they've got a smoke. Something to take note of is that their life isn't full, so they're actually going to commit for this. They don't really have the ultimates to do this, but it looks like they're going to try to sneak. Okay, they're going to wrap around, see what they can do. I thought maybe they were going to go for Roche, but it looks like they're just going to kind of try to find somebody a little out of position, and Nana will just be bait.
This is a classic 4-man smoke Medusa show. Trying to get something.
Naomi just TP'd right there into the Earth Spike as well, and Nana will make short work of her. The Hex in as well. Oh, the Stampede's going to be used defensively and save Naomi, and Naomi should definitely high-five NM for that play. But the Tombstone is going to go down. No, it looks like it's going to be healed for now. But I'm not a huge fan of that Tombstone positioning, to be honest.
Neither do I. That's very weird. It's because Foxy are playing so greedily. They don't want to commit any big spells on an. Oh, what?
Doing literally what? Okay, walk forward. She goes down into the epicenter. Is going to do some work. She was trying to bait it. I think that seems super awkward. Remnant is going to be used defensively. Nana's looking to stone gaze somebody, but nobody wants to look at her. Actually catches out Naomi. She did look too much. And yeah, when you look at somebody as ugly as Medusa here, you're going to get stoned.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We're going to focus on the T2 here. Sleepless still has that BKB. And it looks like not really much they can do, especially with Naomi and KJ both down for the count.
Well, that was a very awkward walk forward there coming up from KJ. Now I think this opens up not only the tower, but also the Roshan. If they want to go for Roshan, this is the best timing for them. Are they not?
That's
okay,
so
they are
weird.
not.
Why would you not?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe yeah, they got greedy by the got baited by the lane creeps from two side lanes. And yeah, this is the classic pop mentality, I would say. And it's not a discrimination, but it's mostly what we see in our pops, right? Our cores looking at a bunch of gold in our side lanes, instantly TPing down no matter what happens, because they want the cha-ching goal for themselves.
Yeah.
It's no big deal though. Like it's no big deal. I mean, Foxy Gaming, they lost the opportunity to do Roshan, but it's not like Pacific Pink they could steal the Roshan themselves. So Foxy, they get the chance to be deciding how this game want to go. They could go fast, they could go late. The power of deciding is on them.
And don't get me wrong, some of those creeps were pushing into the T2 bottom, so I do understand why they would do that, so that you don't take any structural damage. But I feel like the tiny little windows that you're given in terms of taking Roshan and taking other objectives as big as that, you sometimes sacrifice a little bit of tower damage to take that Roche.
Yeah, absolutely. If you are talking about top tier clean Dota, I would definitely say after tier 2, 2 men down, take outpost, go Roshan. I think that's like the cleanest one.
Okay, top tier clean Dota. You're basically saying these people are playing dirty Dota.
Maybe ugly Dota. You know, I mean Medusa, she's ugly, so I think the only ugly part is Medusa here.
Yeah, of course. Oh no, Undying definitely. Undying.
Sure. Undying's pretty ugly too.
Yeah.
Or maybe just the two of us, we are pretty ugly too. So.
Well, you know, that's why we're not. You know, our camera, our faces are not being shown right now. Huh?
Not true. Otherwise, everyone would be stoned.
Yeah. Just don't look at my eyes.
Oh, Trickster Cloak. Okay, who's gonna pick that up? Okay, both Lion and Undying are yelling for this Trickster Cloak now.
It's so
Nana is
good.
like, okay, I'll put this down.
Radiant's
Whoever
bottom
gets it
tower
first, we
is
get it.
under attack.
Who did pick it up?
Dire's top
Catch
tower
is a
is
pick
under
it up.
Catch is it? Okay.
Regeneration.
All right. No, I mean the
Radiant's
potential for an
bottom
ambush is
tower
there,
has
so
fallen.
I see why. Sleepless can kind of just pounce in later after the duel starts, so not a bad call, I think.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Alright, they're gonna trade tier 2 tower for a tier 2 tower.
Radiant's bottom tower
Knowing
is
how
under
big of a
attack.
fight they just won, that's definitely not worth for them, but it's okay. Because over, after all, they are still having the control of Roshan. It really depends on when they feel comfortable for going into it.
And this is kind of what we expected from both of these teams, right? Trading T2 for T2, just doing everything neck and neck in the sense of like just trading. But it's 20-12, but Pacific Pink somehow still ahead in terms of net worth.
Yeah, that really, you have to give credit to Ember Spirit. Like, she's just going almost neck to neck with the PL, a little bit ahead, and she's going for the Divine Rapier after Daedalus. She's just popping damage. She knows how hard it is for PL to be dealing damage in the team fight, so she knows that she has to be lifting up the responsibility here. I love that. I love that from Sherry.
And she's also got the Penta Edge sword.
Plus
Wow.
45 damage. Yeah, that's really good. On top of the Daedalus.
The attack with the attack range though, and the slight, like, wait, she doesn't have Battle Fury. Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
She does have the plus 65 sleight of his hero damage, so that's gonna be super useful. That's why she went for this DPS build.
All right, Sherry. Okay, Ningen and Sherry are just kind of like not gonna fight each other. That's super weird. Nonetheless, all right. What do you think about PL's build now? Scotty up next, but she's got an illusionist cape.
She really might have to consider that Monkey King bar, to be very honest. I mean, of course, Scotty is really good. It's the decent item, always the classic item for PL, but it's not really the damage item that could bring the Medusa down.
Oh, Kekari. Oh, she's getting Earth Spiked. And then Stampede is now going to be used, and she's going to be cookied away. She should be fine. She goes to the high ground, but, you know, the commitment of the Stampede, just saving another hero.
All right, guys, is this the time for a trap? No Stampede for 50 seconds. That's an Aghanim Stampede as well, so that's gonna be mitigating a lot of damage. If they want to do Roche, this might be the best time. PL is not strong yet, and the D1 Rapier is not up yet on the Ember Spirit as well. I don't know if I wonder when do they really want to go in, and why do they don't want to go in though? That's my biggest concern.
Yeah, that is super weird. I don't know why you would do that. All right, so it looks like there's going to be another pause, just kind of a pause in the action. But let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor, of course, Intel, Yahoo, Tokenized Exchange, because without them, we would not have had any of this. If you want a better frame rates, very high frame rates, that is, low latency gaming, get the 11th gen Intel's Core processor. What is your processor, by the way? Do you know?
Intel.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
For
Same.
sure.
Same. Yeah, definitely. All right, good stuff there. And also, from what I know, they're doing a Mother's Day giveaway. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, or the soon-to-be mothers. Nonetheless, let's give a shout out. FSL is doing a Mother's Day giveaway where we basically are giving away an Avengers CPU box i7 10700K. Go to the FSL Dota 2 page, Facebook page, any of their social media. I believe it's posted on there. And just make sure that you kind of figure out. I think you just have to tell a story about how amazing your mother is. My mother is amazing, so I will be doing that as well. But I just need to just type that post out. Is your mother amazing, Leon?
Of course. I mean,
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Seeing as I know you, I question that.
What? Wow.
I'm just kidding.
This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. I'm actually angry now. I'm gonna turn you into stone. Be careful.
All right, I'm not looking at you, so it's all good. So we're good. We're Gucci. We're Gucci.
I mean, me myself definitely. I will be sharing the post as well. Avengers CPU. Wow,
Yeah.
you don't get that every day. Me myself, I'm a big Avengers fan. I even have this Avenger poster in front of me, like this Avengers paint.
Who's your favorite Avenger, by the way?
Iron Man for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I used to like when I was a kid growing up reading comics. I hated Iron Man, and
Why?
until that movie came out, And you know, I didn't really. I just thought he was like a really boring, you know, character. But then I think the movie Robert Downey Jr. just like everything that he did just brought a lot of life into it and made me really like it. But I was really into X-Men.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I see. All right, back to the game. Medusa, she's thinking about the Daedalus. She might even go for Divine, actually. I think the alpha move here is to really get Divine, go Roshan. I think that would be the chat move for Nana. Maybe she has been waiting for that moment all the while, and then we are here questioning her.
Yeah. I think that she knows. I mean, she's pretty much 6-slotted at this point. Like she's got like 5K, you know, gold just in her bag, so to speak. So she's got like so much room in terms of like where she could go. So I mean, the world is our oyster, so to speak.
Rubik has stolen the Boros Strike, so there could be some amazing moments coming from KG with the stolen Boros Strike. I think that's going to be pretty cool to watch. She's pretty damn rich as well. She's holding 4.4k gold in his bank, and she's not spending it just yet. I wonder if she will want to go for Aghanim's, because that's some really good spells to steal this game.
Yeah, this is super weird. I'm clicking through all of the Pacific Pink players, and all of them, I mean, the lowest one right now is Naomi with almost 2,000 gold. I mean, they're obviously saving for a buyback, right? But everybody else is 4K, you know, 2K, 3.6, like 5,000 on, you know what I mean? Like at some point you need to start spending that money, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think this is just the pressure and the stress kicking in, right? Because it's BO1, they're playing against Medusa. There's no room for Mystic. That's why they're playing things really slow right now. Oh, KJ.
Oh, they're gonna find somebody. I feel like they found Lion. Yep. Sleepless goes down. That was the nice little jump, but she tanked the smoke there, so not the worst thing that Sleepless could have done.
For sure, she has buyback as well. So, let's see. Pacific Pink, can they push this for it and go for Roshan themselves? Let's see. There's a DD. There's a DD, Elder.
Oh gosh. Oh, but Nana's so close to it. I think if anything, oh, she picks up the DD. She pops her. Okay. She's gonna just fight this, and I don't know if Kikari wants to have any sort of action with this, even without Lion or whatever. But Nana's got the DD, and they're focused their attention on Roshan here. And Kikari's like, do we wait it out? What do we do?
Yeah, 100% going for Roshan, right? That's just a DD with Daedalus. She's outputting 1,000 critical hits. It's 1,300 to be exact.
Oh, but she's actually not making the full usage of the DD. She is afraid, realizing that Lion, yes, if he did buy back, she still needs to TP back in, and that would take Sleepless a long time to get into. And taking a fight 4v5, and it looks like they're going to just back off here.
Okay, that's another loss of opportunity for Roshan there. Roshan is just sitting in the pit like, okay guys, are you guys playing with my feeling? Are you guys coming in?
Yeah, I don't think they would. I think that you need to be super careful with how you do things, right? Like, you don't want to take any sort of risk. You know that this game is going to go the distance. Any sort of edge right now will really help you close out this game.
I think this bottom side of lane is really... No one has been touching this bottom side. I think Senkin could have just be playing there a little bit more. Since he has the boost of travel, she can always instantly join the team. So that's actually a lot of space that the Senkin has lost. Emperor Spirit is here because it's sort of like a boost of travel carry as well, right? Because you have the random to always get back to the team. That's why Strary is instantly pushing out bottom side, and now Foxy Gaming, they are forced to be reacting to this bottom side, and meanwhile, Phantom Lancer has finally picked up the Monkey King bar.
Finally. But again, she really didn't want to have to buy that, but she does have that and the dust as well, so she really needs to get 6-slotted, but she's got 22 gold away from buyback. Oh, she just got it right now. So I think that they're in a pretty decent position, at least, to kind of maybe make a move onto Nana, who's 5-0-6, mind you.
Tanking is TPing down to the mid lane. Centaur was in the position to catch him, but they did not want to risk it. Without the Emperor Spirit, without the PL, they don't really have damage. So that's a good call. And now finally, Foxy Gaming, they are in the Roshan pit.
They're gonna focus it, and Nana's doing some work. Ningen will just kind of tank a little bit of this one, but it's gonna go down pretty quickly, especially with the Solar Crest and the broken armor. And yeah, they're gonna pick up Aegis there. Nana will happily gobble that one up, and she will slow down as she backpacks the treads.
Nana has 6.5k gold, just enough for the Divine Rapier if she wants to go for it. let's see what item would you want to go for. There's still a Monlier that you can go for the PL. There's still Satanic. There's a lot of items that Medusa could still upgrade, and there's at least 3 item slots. Because she can easily consume Aghanim's, there's 1 slot, and then replace the Power Chest and SNY, there's another 2 slots. So a lot of room to grow still from Medusa. Not to mention there's still Moonshot to be bought as well. So this might be another 60-minute game, Scholar.
Oh, I'm pretty sure this is... I knew going in. I'm actually wearing a diaper right now, so... because I know the game is going to take so long.
Wow.
Too much information? Too much...
Too much for me, yeah. A little bit unnecessary.
I thought we,
okay.
you know, we were that open, you know? We were able to talk about this. All right. No? All right, nonetheless...
I mean, I don't mind knowing about the viewers out there. That's okay.
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 And yeah, they're gonna be pushing bottom lane. They're gonna look to at least take this T1 bottom that's been left alive for 48 minutes, and finally just kind of forcing all 3 lanes to be pushed, so to speak.
Let's go. Nana says. Oh, there's no glyph also. Okay, I thought they would just use the glyph because they will instantly get another one after the bottom tier 1 is down, and that's all good. Oh, Liwan, here we go. Nana.
Oh, awesome. Okay, yeah. So she doesn't have buyback. I mean, yeah, she's got Aegis or whatever, but she's gonna hit like a truck. Oh my gosh, she's pushing through. That made short work of that T2. And here's the siege. Mind you, their top lane is being pushed. They do need to be a little bit careful with this. They didn't really fix the lanes as they're starting to push. So this is pretty much a pretty big commitment if they're going to go. Because they're going to take some structural damage even just for this long-range sieging that they're doing. But Nana's going to just focus on. And they've got the attacks from the side. They're going to try to control her. They lift her up for now. They take the T3. And NM is looking to the right position. I love the pacing and the fact that she's up front. And she's got the right zoning, so to speak. Forcing out some sort of one of her teammates to get nearby. Oh, NM goes in. Spider legs blink in. They're going to look to go for this. But NM is going to get exploded on. She's getting stoned there. She does go down. And Stone Gaze is going to lock in at least Naomi. One more shot. She does go down as well. This Divine Raper is catching them off guard. The buybacks are instantaneous, but they've already got the racks. And now it looks like they're going to retreat.
Wait, you can now feed the Medusa mana? I've not seen this at all. Like, am I stoned or what?
No. Yeah. So
you can do that now?
Yeah, you bump it. Yeah. She has the shard or whatever that lets her, you know, up to.
Oh, that's talent. Mana Drain Restore Allies. Okay, I have not seen that. Okay, I've not seen a lion that goes past 20 levels, level 20, because the game normally ends before that. So, all right. That's new to me. Okay, that's not one thing that I want to mention is that Medusa, she consumes the agonies. Okay, KJ.
Oh, Glimmer. KJ's in a bad spot. No real way to get away. And 2 shots from the Medusa here. And yeah, she's been rooted or not, it doesn't really care. Nana is just continuing to be in. Like the end raid boss, just mana drain her. And look at this. The 3 different ones.
How do you counter this then? Wow.
Honestly, I don't know. And she's got, like, she's immune right now. She's continuing to fight. Kakari has to stampede just away, but nobody wants to face her. She throws out the Mystic Snake, and she just focuses on these racks.
So cool. I did not know that at all. Wow. Every day we learn something new. Have you seen this before? It's not just me, right?
No. I've not seen this. Oh, but the lift up here. I mean, it's brilliant, right? Like, just the fact that, like, the mana drain is like, oh, she's a little low on mana? Okay, Sleepless. I'll just stay in the back. All right, but Kakari is looking to fight now. Mortimer Kiss is going to be used, and they're focusing on, and they're doing a decent amount of work, at least on the back end. The BKB at least going to be used on Cat Chaser. Honey Lisa does go down. She's going to buy back. She's back into it. Kakari's getting a little bit low. They do need to be careful. Burrow strike into the finger. Cherry goes down. She buys back. Kakari's looking to fight this one. She goes down. The Rapier's on the deck. Somebody needs to pick that one up, and Nigget is backing up. Nana's looking to pick this one. She's got 2 Rapiers now, and she focuses on NM, and she literally 4 shots him. Goes for Kakari. Kakari's looking to fight this, but can't fight this without your Divine Rapier. She doppelgangs, tries to run away. Triple kill going the way of Nana, continuing to focus forward. KJ goes down, ultra kills. Somebody give her the rampage. Sherry's looking forward, and it looks like they're going to just focus on the racks, and that is going to be it. And this combination is just sick. Everything about this team is just, the synergy is amazing.
Oh my god. I knew that they have a really good protection draft for the Medusa. But I did not know that this Lion plus Medusa would be so busted. Wow, now I know it. This is so beautiful. Every time Nana went out of mana, he said, drain me, give me the mana. And that was exactly what happened. Sleepless.
That was pretty crazy.
I
think that in terms of like draft, that was just on point. Like this Medusa, like everything was just super smart. We're like, oh, it's kind of like I think they started with an Undying Lion pick, and you're like, you know, you don't really think too much of that because, you know, 5/4, whatever. But then all of a sudden the Medusa's in, and then you had the LC just to help counter. They were expecting them to go with the PL, just very next level in terms of how they thought about this draft.
Absolutely. I love everything about Foxy draft. I mentioned this when they last picked the PL. I think that's the nail on the coffin. And then they were just patiently, I think they were just slowing down the game all the way just for Lion to pick up this level 20. Now I think about it. Because they make the move right after Lion gets to level 20, and then they go for Roshan, they get the Divine Repeat on Medusa, and then they go high ground. That was like well orchestrated and patiently waited by Foxy Gaming here. So what a well-deserved victory by Foxy Gaming. You mentioned that you would want to see Pacific Pink versus Brandysport, but Foxy says, nah, we are going to beat them 2 times in a row, and then they are going to go into the grand final.
They were clearly the more dominant team today, and I think that we just saw the power of Foxy Gaming. They had their number, they had the right draft going in, and I think that we're going to see a barn buster in the sense of the next one, which is going to be the grand finals between Brandy Sports and Foxy Gaming. Both of these teams, yes, Foxy got knocked out, but it was a best of one, right? And now they've got the strategy in mind. I feel like this next series is going to be very, very strategic in the sense of just how you proceed, how you deal with this. The grand finals is going to come up. My name is Holler. This is Arthur. We'll be back with the grand finals.